Hello and welcome to ChinnyVision.
Help me, Robin!
It's Super Robin Hood. Super Robin Hood was one of the first games made available by Codemasters back in 1986 for £1.99, programmed by the Oliver twins, and it was their first game for Codemasters in a relationship that ran for many, many years. We're starting on the Amstrad CPC because this is the original format. This is what the Oliver twins programmed the game on, and like them, we're running this on an Amstrad CPC 6128. Just going to load the game up, and you can see it takes up 38k of memory. And keep that in mind for the sampled speech we're going to hear later. This is the loading screen. The loading screen actually has animation on there. I'm not going to activate the cheat on this version. This game also, I seem to remember taking forever to load.
Welcome to Robin Hood.
We've got some speech there and a nice tune on the menu screen. As I say, this game seems to seem like it took ages for load. I don't know what loading schemes and protection schemes Codemasters were using at that time, but it took forever compared to other games. So I've just defined my options there, and we're going to go start the game.
Enter, Robin.
More speech.
Good luck.
So off we go. Collect the keys to activate the lifts, and there's pills lying around the place that boost up your energy. Health 99 at the moment. One thing you'll notice is this background. It's supposed to be stonework, and it's incredibly loud. So what I'm going to do is go back, press escape, and it actually says defeatist to you, and start again with the background turned off. There is an interesting thing about the background, if you do have it running, is that if you're in different levels of the castle, the stonework changes as you get higher. But frankly, it's incredibly noisy and distracting to have in the background, so I always turn it off. And as you can see, this looks far better now. So we're starting again. The tune runs all the time in the background, although you can turn that off if you wish. But actually, it's a real integral part of the game. We jump down there, jump on that lift. Nice little touches in this game, little bits of animation on the lift there. Lovely animation on Robin Hood himself. So there we go, we've just shot him. Now we don't really need this health here, but you've got no choice but to pick it up even if you try and jump over it. So heading up this ladder here, going to leave that health there because it's useful to leave health lying around in this game for later in the game because sometimes things can get quite tight. And I don't think you need every one of those health things to complete the game. It's only what you're looking for are the hearts. And so the aim of the game is to save Maid Marian. You heard Save Me Robin there, and the Save Me Robin there is apparently, I think, the Oliver twins' mother, although frankly I think it sounds more like one of the Oliver twins putting on a female voice. I don't know. It's the low quality of the Amstrad CPC sampling there. I don't think there's actually a Amstrad CPC budget game, certainly, that has more sound samples than this game. How they fitted this in to the Amstrad's memory. I've done sampled speech on the Amstrad with a brilliant utility that came with Amstrad Action one Christmas. And it's incredibly memory intensive, even at this kind of quality. So how they fitted in all that sampled speech along with the game code, I've got no idea. I guess it probably... Help me, Robin. I guess they've probably got some nifty compression going on to compress it all down to make it work. Oh, I've done something stupid there and jumped down. It's easy to do that. But luckily I left that health there from earlier, so I'm back up to 99. You can't kill the spiders, which are basically blocks with eyes and mouths that move up and down. Just going to skip forward a bit here. So a little bit later on, let's drop down there. Timing is everything in this game, and the different keys activate different lifts, and sometimes the keys can be quite far apart from where the lift is. Now I can't shoot him. This is a timing test here, really. Now I'm crouching down, but I don't think I need to. I think... No, I'm not going to take a chance. I think if you stand upright, he still misses you. Oh no, there we go. Right, yeah. So So why did the Oliver twins choose Robin Hood as their first game for Codemasters? Well, they say that it was basically a license, or free to have license rather, that they could have where the plot line would be established and people would know what they were buying. But most importantly, they wouldn't need to pay any royalties to use Robin Hood. Now, one thing I will point out is that there was an incredibly popular TV show at the time called Robin of Sherwood that was shown on ITV every Saturday evening. Big ratings hit with Michael Praed and lots of other actors, Ray Winston, who all went on to be famous, apart from Michael Praed. And it was an incredibly popular series, and everyone at school watched it. It alternated with the A-Team. At one point of the year, you'd have the A-Team on Saturday night, and the other time of the year, you'd have Robin of Sherwood on. So, pretty nifty move there by the Oliver twins to produce a Robin Hood game which didn't need a licence at a time when Robin of Sherwood was riding high in the TV ratings. This spider here moves really, really fast. And yeah, as you go higher up in the castle, there's less and less health to pick up. Down on the lower levels, there's loads of health pills to pick up that boost your energy up, and now it starts to get hard as we're approaching about halfway through the game, I'd guess. Lots of little details in the background. It's nice to see the Oliver twins using Mode 0 on the Amstrad, because this was their first game for Codemasters before they started porting everything for the Spectrum and sticking everything onto Mode 1 on the Amstrad, the 4-colour medium resolution mode, which was easier to port to the Spectrum. So it's nice to see a bit more colour and just some nicer, more Amstrad-style graphics rather than... And although the Oliver twins programmed all their games on the Amstrad, all their early games on the Amstrad, it's nice to see something that isn't effectively not a specky port, but something that looks like a Spectrum game having to run on the Amstrad. So, really nice.
Enter your name.
And again, more speech here at the end, enter your name. I mean, how they fitted all this in, I've got no idea. It's just, even with compression, it's a really impressive feat. So Super Robin Hood was quickly ported to other systems, including the Spectrum and Commodore 64. The Spectrum version wasn't programmed by the Oliver twins, but it's using the Amstrad code and the Amstrad maps. It's a 48k game, 48k beeper tune as you start up. So we just set music and sounds, no speech. Can't turn off a background because there isn't one. It's going to define the keys there, Old Faithful QAO and P. And off we go. And the screen layout here is very faithful to the Amstrad version. Robin Hood looks slightly different. He's got a bit of a mullet going on there by the looks of it. Perhaps another nod to Robin of Sherwood, Michael Praed with his 80s mullet, and then of course Jason Connery in the third series of that. The running animation is slightly odd because he appears to be skating as he runs along there. It's very similar to the Amstrad version. The spider graphics are far nicer, I have to say. I'll do the speech for you in a minute. Help me, Robin! Yeah. When I fast forwarded it on here to a little bit later on in the game, and it's very similar to the Amstrad version. All the puzzles are exactly the same. All the screen layouts are exactly the same. All slightly cut down for the Spectrum. A little bit of flickering on the sprites when the things overlap, but there's not significant colour clash or anything in here. It's quite a decent conversion of the game, really. Moving on to the Commodore 64, and yes, look at this loading screen. It appears to be Hulk Hogan or someone who looks like him, rather than Robin Hood. A little bit worrying. Slightly embarrassing Maid Marian graphic here on the bottom half of the screen with a rather large bust and a very short skirt. don't really think they had that in the 13th century, but hey-ho. Nice David Whittaker tune here on the menu screen. And it's by DJ Sorrell, who's done the conversion of this. And it's unusual for Commodore 64 games, because a lot of 64 games are joystick only, but this actually offers keyboard control as well. And off we go. Bit of a delay before the game starts. Anything that going to happen? Oh, whoa, what's going on here? Right, the screen layout appears to be the same as the CPC and Spectrum versions, but the screen scrolling with Robin Hood here, he's always dead centre. Oh, I get the feeling this is going to be game breaking. Oh, I've got a horrible feeling about this. I've got a really horrible feeling about this. I think what's going to happen once I manage to work out how to jump on this version and just get this very slow moving lift here. Right, I think when we get up to here, we're not going to be able to see the bloke. Oh, come on, lift, get a move on. Yeah. Oh, no, come on. Oh, this is fiddly as anything. Right, am I going to get up here? Right, I'm up. Now, yeah, I can't see what I'm shooting at. Now, I know what's there because I've got 29 years experience of playing this game on the Amstrad. Oh, you wouldn't have known it from watching me play the Amstrad version, but yeah, that's how long I've been playing it. I can't see what I'm shooting because the programmers decided, no, this isn't a flick screen game. This is a scrolling game. Oh, I just know. R.I.P. Robin Hood indeed. Oh. Dear. Right, okay, let's give this another go. Right, I'm not going to go that way this time. I'm going to head off. Come on, get a move on, game. I'm going to head off and go right and see what horrible abominations this game's got in store in the other direction. Why is it always Commodore 64 programmers who decide they know better and mess up perfectly good games? The screen layout's here. Oh, right, here there's a small spider going up and down. Is it a scorpion? Goodness knows what it is. I'm again shooting into the distance. Don't know what's there. Again, well, I know what's there, but if you're playing this on Commodore 64 for the first time, you're not going to have a clue. Oh, dear. I'm also having some control problems with crouching and then jumping up to fire. Now, going to get any speech? Nope, no speech. Oh, this is a crushing disappointment. If this game was flick screen but using these graphics, it would be up there, with certainly with the Amstrad version and better than the Spectrum version. But the programmers just no. Yeah, don't need that energy. Gonna jump across here. Oh, the jumping's horrible. And they don't, these lifts that go across are also different from the Spectrum and Amstrad versions. They work slightly differently, and I've fallen down, and frankly I'm losing the will to play this tat. What this reminds me of is the later Robin Hood Legend Quest on the ST and Amiga, which I believe, from memory, had scrolling like this, and it worked far better. I've only ever played a demo version of that on an Amiga Action cover disc, but it was much more like this. I should also mention that although Super Robin Hood is available for the NES, it's a different game. It's not the Spectrum, Commodore and Amstrad versions. Additionally, the later game, Robin Hood Legend Quest, also came out for the Spectrum, Commodore and Amstrad, and frankly the Amstrad and Spectrum versions really aren't worth looking at. I'm just going to stand here and just end it now. Yes, thank you. Yes, R.I.P. Robin Hood. R.I.P. Robin Hood indeed. So, Amstrad CPC, Sinclair Spectrum and Commodore 64 versions. Well, the CPC version is the original and the best. Slightly garish graphics, do need to turn off that background, but it plays really well and has so much sampled speech. It's a really neatly put together game with nice screen design, nice level layouts, and really good value for the $1.99 you would have paid for it. The Spectrum version is a good port of the Amstrad version. Obviously lacks the sound of the Amstrad version, it's a 48K game, but the level layouts are the same and it plays really well. Commodore 64 version, I'm afraid it's a broken game. It's a huge disappointment because it has nice graphics, no music during the gameplay, which is a shame, but they've gone to the effort of doing all these nice graphics, but it's a shame it's on a flick screen game because as a scroller, Super Robin Hood simply does not work.